Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, counter-spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into our time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
Espionage and Intrigue, Orson Welles in the prequel to the Third Man motion picture, The Lives of Harry Lime. And this episode, by the way, I want to mention this real quick. This show was not produced by the BBC, though it was produced in London. It was produced as an independent production by Harry Alan Towers. And some of the episodes did air on the BBC, but not many. The Lives of Harry Lime. From March 14th, 1952, Violets, Sweet Violets.
Presenting Orson Welles as the Third Man. The Lives of Harry Lime. The fabulous stories of the immortal character originally created in the motion picture The Third Man, with zither music by Anton Kara.
That was the shot that killed Harry Lime. He died in a sewer beneath Vienna, as those of you know who saw the movie The Third Man. Yes, that was the end of Harry Lime. But it was not the beginning. Harry Lime had many lives, and I can recount all of them. How do I know? Very simple. Because my name is Harry Lime. You know, I've always believed in saying it with flowers. It's a nice, expensive language. And in my experience, an orchid unlocks more doors than a skeleton key. Besides, you can say and mean so many things with a bunch of flowers. Remember the old saying, orchids for riches, roses for passion, lilies for purity, and so on. Of course, for me, some flowers have a different meaning. Roses, red roses, remind me of an ash blonde with gray-green eyes. That's another story.
And now, Orson Welles as Harry Lime, the Third Man, in Violets, Sweet Violets.
It is passing strange that a city like Marseilles, about as wicked as they come, should be so abloom with churches and cathedrals. Or is it strange? Isn't this merely another example of irony? You know, the double face of life, comedy and tragedy. See what I mean? I was thinking about this as I made my way to the old town directly after landing at the port. I considered the ancient church of Saint-Victor as a case in point. Its spire marked the center of old Marseille. It was founded in the 13th century and once attached to an early 4th century abbey. St. Lazarus once languished in its catacombs, and tourists can still see the black image of the Virgin attributed to St. Luke. But I'm not a tourist. I was about to pass the crumbling fortress-like church when a ruin of another sort animated itself and called toward me.
Violets, sweet violets, kind gentlemen. Spare a few pence for the good of your soul and a breath of English countryside.
Take more than your violets to sweeten my soul, Mother. What do you know of the English countryside?
I was born in England, that's what. And if I choose to warm my old bones in warmer climates, that's my own business, kind sir.
You're a prickly old puss. And just for such courage with a possible customer, I'll purchase a bunch of your dilapidated blossoms.
Oh, thank you, sir. I knew you was a proper gentleman the moment I laid eyes on you.
And perhaps a little information.
What kind of information?
Are you acquainted with a certain pirate by the name of Grippo?
Grippo? What would you want with him, gentleman?
Words, Mother, a few simple words.
You be his friend?
Neither friend nor foe. I've never met him.
It's foe you'll be. Grippo makes no friends.
Then we have something in common.
It's your loss. You can find him at Crow's Nest, Salem Saloon and Lodging, down the next street and one over. You can't miss it, just follow your nose on the noise.
An unsavory beginning for a sinister character. But with all Grippo's alarming physical peculiarities, the fellow drew me like a magnet. For I'd had word on excellent authority that he was king of the thriving black market trade in Marseilles. As I approached the crow's nest, I agreed with the old violet woman most heartily, then entered the noisome place, twirling my bunch of violets. It was like walking into a page of Robert Louis Stevenson. Ship's lanterns lighted the place, fishing nets and cobwebs decorated the walls, and I swear that some of the patrons boasted barnacles. But at the bar, with a swearing green parrot on his shoulder, was Grippo, complete with scar and iron hook.
Lookee, stranger comes indoor.
Perhaps he comes to slum, eh? Behold, he brings flowers.
Maybe we eat him up.
Come along, ladies! There'll be no heaving overboard of a man who comes to Crow's Nest with posies. He's either a maniac or a fox, and this one's no madman.
Greetings from Renard, Grippo.
Renard, is it? I've read me tables, matey. What's the fox's other name?
Harry Lime.
Harry Lime. I know that one, too.
Your fame is also known to me, Grippo, old man.
Judging by them dead violets, beware gentle Annie.
Is that her name?
Well, she's been called other things.
She told me where you dropped anchor. But the most important facts concerning you I had before arriving in port.
Maybe we'd better have a private talk, Mr. Lime.
Your servant, Mr. Grippo.
Follow me. Run in a bucket of grog for me and my friend Costa.
At the double, Grippo.
State your business, Mr. Lime.
Well, there are those who say you control the black market in Marseille.
Oh, you're a cool one.
Supplying scarce items to the populace for a price. Grippo's price, isn't that it? Well, I want a piece of it.
You don't think much of your life, do you, matey?
Oh, on the contrary, I think rather well of my lives.
Lives?
As of a cat, I have more than one, old man. I realized I wouldn't be the first victim to feel your hook in my throat, Grippo. This I guarantee. I'd be the last.
You got the gall to threaten Grippo?
Merely stating a fact, old man. I'm not altogether alone in Marseille. I have friends, associates, who could even reach you.
You're a liar.
Try me.
Maybe we can make a deal, matey. My business is expanding. I could use a sharper like you.
Well, you're beginning to sound more intelligent.
You don't like me any more than I like you, Mr. Lime. It's a fine start. We should do ourselves some good.
Ourselves and no one else.
Aye. Meet me tonight over on South Bank of Old Harbour. There's an old warehouse there, last one on the dock. Abandoned, they say.
But you say differently, hmm?
Come and see for yourself, Mr. Lime. 11 o'clock?
6 bells, is it, Grippo?
Maybe we got more in common than I thought. Have another slug of grog, matey, eh?
But I begged off and left Grippo swilling his bucket of grog. As I left Crow's Nest, fog was beginning to drift in, smelling thickly of salt water and things long dead, forgotten. Such atmosphere always depresses me. I left Old Town. On my way to one of the better hotels in Marseille, called rather appropriately, I thought, La Flotte d'Or, the Golden Fleece. My quarters were good, the dinner was excellent, the wine superb, the prices outrageous. I was enjoying an after-dinner cigar when something new and uniformed was added.
Am I addressing Herr High Lime?
Why, yes.
I am Colonel von Stutt, German Occupation Police.
Well, won't you join me, Colonel?
Briefly.
What is your pleasure? Cognac?
Nothing, Dankeschön. You are notorious, Herr Lime.
I prefer the word celebrated.
I am here to warn you to make your stay as brief as possible in Marseille and to cause no incident so long as you are here. We have enough trouble with these peasants.
I can't imagine why my presence should be of any concern to the occupation authorities, Colonel. I assure you I have no intention of starting anything except escapades that might contribute to my pleasure.
What do you mean by that?
I'm here on holiday. That shouldn't worry you.
The occupation voice about nothing.
Congratulations, old man. You may change your mind.
What?
About the cognac.
Nein. You will do well to remember my warning, Herr Lime.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen.
And thanks for dropping by, Colonel Von Gutz. You may prove most useful to me. Fog lay in my throat like cold cotton. I came to the abandoned warehouse in the waterfront of Old Harbor. Pack water lapped listlessly against the pilings of the dock, and the damp crept into my bones. The whole atmosphere of the place was one of defeat, despair, and hopelessness. I was anxious to get my business over. Pushed open a sagging door. Hello? Hello? Hello, anybody about?
Harry Lime?
Oh, yes. I was supposed to meet... Oh.
He has nothing, Grippo? Not even knife?
More fool him. Look, quick, Chink, he's waking up. So, you've come back to us, Mr. Lime.
My, congratulations, Grippo.
Hey?
Congratulations for not dropping me into the sea after your cabin boy slugged me.
What this about cabin boy?
I'll pay no mind, Chink. But as for chucking you in the harbour, matey, that would have been too easy.
Easy?
I want to see you squirm a bit before sinking you. Didn't think I'd let you walk in nice as you please and take over my hard-earned living, did you?
Oh, certainly. I still intend to, Grippo, man.
Oh, listen to him,
Funny is.
But Colonel Von Gut takes an even more humorous view of the situation.
Did you say Von Gut?
Oh, I did. You know him.
That is why he come here so bold. He has got protection from the...
I don't think. I'll sign you on, Mr. Lime, but it's going to take more than your fancy talk or Von Gut.
How do you mean?
Everybody's against me, the police, both French and occupation. Now even the French underground's after me skin. I'm afraid to sell. You find a safe way of making customer contact, matey, and you're in.
But can't your corrupt colonel assist you?
How'd you know that?
Of course I knew it. Else why should I mention his name?
Still no likey him, Grippo.
You like your money, don't you?
Sure.
Then stay out of this. After all, Mr. Lime asked for this. It's his neck.
And with that reassuring spirit of goodwill, would you care to show me your stockpile of goods, Grippo? After all, before I can sell, I must make sure of my merchandise, since my life depends on it.
Orson Welles returns in just a moment as the third man.
March 14th, 1952, The Lives of Harry Lime on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
No offense, but are you a little fat when you look in the mirror? How would you like to learn the secrets to lose 3 to 5 pounds a week easily without joining the gym or going through any crazy diets? It's called Body Sculpt by Med Diet. For the last 2 decades, we've been helping people just like you that have pounds they want to shed. We've helped millions of people lose thousands and thousands of pounds over the years. And now it's your turn. Learn the secrets of how to lose weight with one simple phone call. You'll see an amazing difference in a matter of days. Don't believe us? We'll offer you a money-back guarantee. If you're ready to start losing weight right now, call right now to learn more about your risk-free order to Body Sculpt.
Call for your risk-free offer. 800-738-5332. 800-738-5332. 800-738-5332. That's 800-738-5332.
Did a quick check during that break, and of the 52 episodes of The Lives of Harry Lime, almost all of which are in circulation, 16 of them were broadcast by the BBC in the UK. The first time a BBC broadcast episodes of a dramatic series that it didn't produce. But all 52 episodes are out there and available to collectors. From March 14th, 1952, The Lives of Harry Lime on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
And now, Orson Welles, as the third man, continues with Violet, Sweet Violet.
I gambled and won. The old lime luck had paid off. Probably the one corrupt official in the occupation who had dealings with Grippo had also walked into my web, Colonel Von Gut. I was playing a very dangerous game, but I was determined to play it to the end. After all, such a challenge was the only pleasure I could find in those times. Grippo's warehouse was loaded with black market merchandise, including guns and plane parts. All I had to do was to find a way of, well, distribution. Then I remembered a cracked voice, the odor of faded violets.
Violets, sweet violets. Who'll spend a few pence for the good of their soul on the bread? Oh, it's you, young gentleman.
Good morning, Annie.
Did you find Grippo?
Yes. Is it a bit raw for you to be out today, Mother?
Me diggings are no better. What with me gas turned off and me landlady wanted to lock me out if I don't pay me fast rent.
Supposing I buy out your stock and we go over to that inn for something warm, Annie?
You're going to the inn with the likes of me?
It would be an honor. Come along, Mother.
There's nothing like a spot of tea and brandy to put life in a body again.
Want another cup, Annie?
Oh, Lord love you, sir. I've had 3 already. Well, maybe I'll best have one more.
That's my girl. I'll brew the potion myself.
Oh, I never thought Gentle Annie would see the likes of this again.
Why not?
Oh, if it had been 40 years ago, when I was animal ware. But I was the toast, Mr. Lime. Would you like to hear a piece? Violet, sweet violet.
Please, Annie, I want to help you.
Why?
I've already told you. Perhaps I can make up in a measure for all that heartbreak you had before.
You got a heap of mending to do, Mr. Lime.
Then how's this for a starter? I'll bring you flowers from the wholesale market. The best and freshest blossoms I can find. And they won't cost you a penny.
You'd do this for me?
If you'll do something for me, Mother.
Anything, Mr. Lime, anything.
You're going to have the briskest floral trade in Marseilles. And whoever asks you for violets, sweet violets. Now remember.
Violet, sweet violet. Why, sir, that's my own song.
Yes, but they must say those exact words when they make a purchase. When they do, you give them my address. I'm staying at the front door, the Golden Fleece.
Golden Fleece?
There'll be someone who'll give you envelopes. These I will collect every evening. You got that?
You have business with such folk?
Or call it the business of, freedom.
Freedom. The underground. Oh, it was a fine, brave day that brought you to Marseilles and Gentle Annie, Mr.
Just
Lime.
follow my instructions, Mother. You make us both happy.
That I will.
And now another spot of tea.
Yes, I agrees with the parrot, Mr. Lime. The old thing's a rum idea.
But you can't disagree with its efficacy, Grippo. Gentle Annie will siphon the context. Either come to me at the Golden Fleece, or leave the money in the envelopes to the larger merchandise. Best of all, nobody will suspect. Annie has sold her wares on the steps of St. Vincent's for years.
How do you know it'll work?
How do you know it'll fail?
Well, I'm not the one to wait to find out. Buying flowers to sell black market. What's this business coming to?
Things are difficult the whole world over, old man.
How about another bucket of grog with me, Mr. Lime?
Not tonight, Grip, old man. Remember, I have to be up with the birds. Buy violets while the dew is still fresh. The noose was tightening, and the gentleman who perched atop a powder keg and lit the fuse had nothing on Harry Lime at the moment. But luck had been with me thus far, and why not further? Business was booming. Gentle Annie was the biggest thing in black market circles. She could have known she was more famous now than she'd ever been in the old music hall days. And then suddenly, like a bolt from what they like to call the blue, the envelope trade fell off. 1 day, 2, 3. I questioned Annie.
Well, Mr. Lime, what did Annie have to say for herself?
Nothing helpful, Grippo. I believe she believes in elves. Now, what would you suggest? Should I go twist her arm?
If you don't, I will.
You?
Find out what's happening to them envelope orders, Mr. Lime, or return their hand yours.
Grippo's ultimatum didn't leave me much choice. Train the next day, I passed St. Victor's at high noon. Annie was loyally crying her wares. I visited her again just at dusk, just settling down for a sudden night. I didn't announce myself, but moved into the shadow of the fortress-like pillars of the ancient church.
Violets! Sweet violets! They smell the sweeter for the rain.
There were no buyers. I saw several envelopes on a tray. She had few flowers left. In spite of the weather, it had been a bright day for my elderly friend. Annie sighed, pulled her shawl tighter, and was getting ready to grow sharp when another pedestrian appeared, a taut, thin woman who might have been beautiful once. Her hair was tawny in the fading light, her voice hard and brittle. She darted toward Annie.
I wonder about your flowers, Annie.
Huh? Oh, it's you again, girl.
Get 'em out. The violets. One bunch.
Oh, it's coming on, ready to leave. You better spend your pennies for bun and milk, girl. From the looks of you could stand some food.
As Annie fumbled with her blossoms, the woman snatched the envelopes and whatever money she could. I had my thief, just ready to move in. When gentle Annie caught her in the very act.
Here. What you doing? Stealing?
Let me go.
No! Let go, silly girl. Shame! Stealing from an old woman.
It's a filthy
Help!
What you think?
Peace! Murder!
It's all right, Annie. It's all right. I'm here.
I'm being robbed. I'm being robbed.
I said quiet down. Oh, now the fat's in the fire.
Food I wanted, just money for
Rob an old
food.
woman and steal from me plenty too.
What is the trouble here? Huh? Who robs you?
But there's Sassy here, that's who.
Well, there's really no trouble at all, officer.
I
was
didn't
just
do anything. I was only
She's
hungry.
the one who's robbed me all
I'm gonna
along.
fight for that.
Enough. We shall all go to the station. Where at least it is dry.
Oh, but officer.
Come, vite, monsieur, s'il vous plaît.
Oh, well, you can't win them all. March 14th, 1952, Orson Welles, The Lives of Harry Lime. The conclusion next on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
Are you in bad pain? You know what I mean. Your knees hurt. Your shoulder hurts. Your elbow and back are constantly killing you. And I'm sure you've tried every pain pill or cream available at the drugstore. Am I right? Well, here's something you haven't tried. Pain Magic. Pain Magic is not available at any drugstore. The only place you can get it is by calling the special toll-free number I'm about to give you. And to make things even better, call right now and find out about our buy one, get one free offer. We're so confident it'll work for you that we offer a free bottle with your purchase. No prescription required. Call now to learn how you can get Pain Magic and get rid of your pain. Remember, your results may vary. 800-492-8164. 800-492-8164. 800-492-8164. That's 800-492-8164.
Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, the conclusion of The Lives of Harry Lime, Violet, Sweet Violets, from March 14th, 1952.
Of course, the inevitable happened. Once the authorities learned my identity, the prefect was called in with my somewhat oversized official dossier. It appeared that I was to be the whipping boy of this particular petty theft.
I am not at all convinced of your innocence, monsieur. Annette.
Yes, sir.
Are you acquainted with this gentleman?
Him, sir? He's a good, kind man, sir. And he's taken me in hand.
Your benefactor has betrayed you, Annette. He has been using you in the black market trade.
No. Him? I don't believe it.
And you arrest me for pinching a few pennies.
That may be the least of your crimes, mademoiselle. Evidence may prove that you were cooperating with Monsieur Lime.
I never saw him before in my life.
May I, say a word in my own behalf?
But of course, monsieur.
Well, it seems that the main bone of contention is the black market ring.
Oui, certainement.
If I deliver the head of the ring to you, will that satisfy the authorities and clear my good name?
You can do this?
I can. The name is Grippo.
Any former, that's what he is.
Shut your mouth.
Ladies,
That's
please.
all right, Annie.
This is most interesting, Monsieur Lime. Are you prepared to vouch for such a statement?
Oh, yes, I am.
Oui, monsieur le préfet?
Have the kindness to ask Colonel von Gutt and the second witness to enter, s'il vous plaît.
Immédiatement, monsieur.
And goods.
Oh, sir, does this mean more trouble for you?
I'm beginning to wonder, Annie.
You sent for me, Herr Prefect?
I understand that the occupation had information on this man, Colonel von Gutt.
That is correct. Herr Harry Lime is an international confidence man, capable of any major crime.
No.
And you, monsieur, you are called...
Just you call me Chink, mister. That is all I ever answer
But
to.
this man...
Monsieur. And now, Monsieur Chink, I understand that you have charges.
That me do. This Mr. Lime comes to Crow's Nest, tries to grip him into black market deal.
Well, monsieur?
This man's story is a pack of lies, monsieur. He is Grippo's axeman.
It is Mr. Lime's word against mine, Prefect.
I order Herr Lime's arrest.
May I offer a way out of this crisis?
No believe what he says. He's smooth one. Grippo
You
told...
see, gentlemen, his own words have hung the chink.
Well, I must admit...
And if I bring in Grippo, while your men are investigating the abandoned warehouse on Old Harbor...
I want no unnecessary trouble. If Herr Lime guarantees to eradicate the black market trade here in Marseilles, we have no further interest in him.
Thank you, Colonel. And now, Monsieur le Préfet?
We shall wait until you bring Grippo, Monsieur Lime. Then we shall discuss your future.
I am no advocate of physical conflict, but sometimes nothing to do about it's necessary. After gaining the prefect's promise that the chink would be detained, I sought out Grippo. He wasn't at Crow's Nest, not in the warehouse, but I did find him in a small boat at the end of the dock, just casting off. Come out of that boat, Grippo.
Oh, just sick me, eh, Lion? Well, it's your neck, like I said. It's even better than killing you.
Not quite, my friend.
Oh, get you. It's your mean, Lime, like I always knew it would be. And my hook will get you.
No, Grippo. I was most untidy when I delivered Grippo to the authorities. Dampish and somewhat bloody. But the law was satisfied, at least insofar as the occupation was concerned. The black market ring was ended, and I had a clean bill of health. But the French prefet suggested that I take passage on the next ship out. In fact, he was at the dock to see me off.
And now, Harry Lime.
I call this story Violets, Sweet Violets. Now maybe you know the reason why. Flowers can mean so many things, and if ever you should want to send me a message that reeks of villainy most foul, send me a bunch of violets. And say it with flowers.
From March 14th, 1952, The Lives of Harry Lime on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. So here's the choice. Some people say the USA is finished. It's evil, a has-been, full of hate and injustice. The U.S. Constitution should be trashed and the Bill of Rights abolished. No free speech, no gun ownership. Competition and free markets are bad. We're all too stupid. For our own good, the government must own everything and know all your secrets.
Other people say that America has created the freest, richest, happiest, most generous society that has ever existed in the world. That's why millions of people are desperate to come here and escape their brutal lives in Cuba, Venezuela, North Korea, and 100 other countries.
In America, we have the right to succeed, the right to our own living, the right to have a family, the right to believe in God, the right to have our own ideas, the right to be safe and secure, and the right to be left alone.
Where do you stand? Help us save the Constitution and restore the American dream. Go to SaveMyFreedom.com.
Brought to you by the American Media Council.
Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, Part 3 of the 5-part Yours Truly Johnny Dollar story, The Clinton Matter. This episode originally broadcast March 14th, 1956.
From Hollywood, it's time now for...
Johnny Dollar.
This is Florrie Hawkins, Mr. Dollar.
Oh, yes. You were the principal of the school.
I'd like to talk to you if I could.
All right.
Would you care to meet me for a cocktail? There's a place called the Trader's Inn not far out of town. I could be there in an hour.
All right. Miss Hawkins.
Yes, Mr. Dollar.
What changed your mind about talking to me?
Well, I've heard how you've gone about this. I mean, you forced Sheriff Doherty to let you in to see Roy Vickery. You defied Chief Hanley, and, well, you don't seem frightened of any of them. Also, I suppose I'm a little sick of everything I've seen around here.
Okay.
I'll see you in an hour.
I'll be there.
Tonight and every weekday night, Bob Bailey in the transcribed adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account, America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to the United Adjustment Bureau, 418 West 61st Street, New York City. The following is an accounting of expenditures during my investigation of the racket in Clinton, Colorado. Expense account item 9, $10, 1 dinner and 4 drinks for myself at the Trader's Inn, 5 miles outside of Clinton, where I waited for Florrie Hawkins to appear.
I'm sorry I'm late.
Oh, well, that's all right, Miss Hawkins. Sit down, please. Would you like something to eat? A drink, maybe?
No, thank you.
What's the matter? What is it?
Oh, I can't help looking around. I hope no one sees us together. I mean, that would be difficult to explain.
To explain to whom?
Your friend, Sheriff Doherty, for one.
Oh.
Last night when you came to inquire about Julian Osborne, Sheriff Doherty called and told me to get rid of you and not answer any questions.
Yeah, I guessed that. Did he tell you what would have happened if I had stayed and you had answered some questions?
No. I can imagine it would have been something that would have barred me from teaching for the rest of my life. That sounds incredible?
No, not too. I've been looking at your little town, Miss Hawkins. A school building can be made of paper, go up in smoke, a man can be killed, and none of the responsible people, the man who built the building, the fire chief, the sheriff, seem to care too much.
You asked me about Julian Osborne. I knew he wrote your insurance company, or called them, and told them the school building wasn't right. He told me he was going to do it.
I see.
I knew it wasn't right, too. Everyone who worked in there, who worked on the building, knew it wasn't up to specifications.
Then I'll contact some of those people.
Well, that may be difficult. Julian Osborne spoke up, and he burned to death.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean you can't speak now, or any of the others.
I'm willing to speak about that building now. Now I'm willing to help you. I don't know about the others. Will Mr. Baines help you?
Well, he's frightened of going up against Vickery and the others. But I think I can talk him into it.
That would be 2 of us.
Yeah, that's right. 2 people speaking out. And then there'd be others. Once it gets rolling, it won't stop. Unless I've missed my guess about the townspeople of Clinton.
You seem to know a lot about people, Mr. Dollar. How to say what will stimulate them at the right time or make them speak out. I have to confess you did that to me. You looked hurt and bewildered last night when I insisted you leave me alone. I realize, you know, very deeply, I realize there could have been 1,400 pupils in that school when the fire broke out. I didn't sleep last night thinking of it.
Yeah, I guess that was the only good feature of it. No children died. But as you say, Miss Hawkins, it could have happened the other way. Now, look, besides yourself and possibly Mr. Baines, can you think of anyone else who might be able to supply information about the construction of the school?
I don't know. Let me think.
Somebody who'd have evidence in hand, possibly.
Wait. Yes, I can think of someone.
Who?
The building inspector, the one who approved the building.
Oh, well, that doesn't seem likely. If he passed that building, he must have been in with them. What's his name?
His name is Richard Hobb. Oh, I've known him for years. Oh, he is in with them in a way, but I know he'd get out of it if he could. He was a very decent man when I knew him well. I think he's still decent.
Richard Hobb. All right, who else?
Well, that's all I can think of.
Well, that's a start.
Well, what will you do?
I'll ask you to take a plane to Denver, register at the Cosmopolitan Hotel, and wait until you hear from me.
What?
I want a statement from you before you go, but I want you to be safe. I'll get around to Hobb and Baines. All I want are sworn statements to the effect that Vickery built a bad school, that he violated insurance specifications. That'll start it rolling.
Oh, when do you want the statement?
Tonight, right here.
All right. Let's get busy.
It took an hour to get the statement. After that, I drove her to Grand Junction to catch a plane. Expense account item 10, $1.50, telegram to a friend of mine in the private detective business in Denver. I asked him to meet Florrie Hawkins' plane, see that she was safe and comfortable, and keep an eye on her during her stay in Denver. Then I drove back to Clinton. Item 11, 10 cents, another phone call. This one to David Baines.
Yeah, Dollar?
Baines, Florrie Hawkins made a statement about the school building and the fire. She's tired of being scared and shoved around. Now, how about you?
You want a statement from me?
Yes, comparing your specifications with what you saw that actually went into the building. Will you make it out and take it before a notary?
All right. If she can, I can. Then what?
Then go down to Denver and wait to hear from me.
I'll make the statement, but I won't leave town.
You'll help me a lot if you do.
Sorry.
You'll be in danger here.
I feel brave. If you're going to play it so broad, I'll do it too.
I took his statement directly to the post office and mailed it to myself at the Northern Hotel. Expense account item 12, 40 cents phone calls. I telephoned Sheriff Doherty, Fire Chief Hanley, and County Attorney Contractor Roy Vickery and told them that I had a sworn statement regarding building irregularities. Sheriff Doherty snorted and hung up. Chief Hanley yawned and told me not to bother him. And Roy Vickery just laughed. About 8 o'clock that night, I was at the home of Building Inspector Richard Hobb, a nice home in a nice part of town. The woman standing in the doorway was tall and blonde, holding a drink and smoking a cigarette.
Yes?
I'd like to see Mr. Richard Hobb. I'm Johnny Dollar.
I'm Lucille Hobb. He isn't home right now, but you can come in and wait for him and talk to me. I'm not bad company. Would a drink help?
Help what?
Whatever's wrong with you. You look tired, Mr. Dollar.
It might, but I'd rather not. I just came by to talk to your husband.
You said that. What do you want to talk to him about?
Business?
This time of night? Let's stop talking about him. What do you say?
Look, you probably missed your dinner tonight, and you've been getting all of your nourishment out of a bottle, so I'll come back later.
You're afraid Dick will walk in.
No. I'm not afraid of that, Mrs. Hobb. He's already walked out, and you're feeling sorry for yourself.
What?
Well, a man, if he lives in a place, has an ashtray or a picture or yesterday's sports section lying around the front room. I don't see anything like that in this room. If I walked over to that closet 10 to 1, I wouldn't find any of his clothes. And if I tried the drawers, I'll lay odds there wouldn't be a shirt around either. When did he leave?
You're crazy.
When did he leave?
Yesterday.
After the fire?
During the fire.
Where did he go?
I don't know.
Did he go alone?
I don't know.
Did Vickery tell him to get out of town?
No.
I'll ask that again. Did Vickery tell your husband to get out of town?
I don't know.
You said no the first time I asked. Vickery a pal of your husband's?
Well, they know each other, naturally.
Look, Mrs. Hobb, I don't know how much you've had to drink, but if I'm reading your eyes right, you're scared. You're scared about what's happened here and what could happen here. And you know your husband's involved. Mrs. Hobb, I want your husband to help me. If he helps me, I can help this town get rid of people like Vickery and Doherty and Hanley. If you see him, if he contacts you, tell him that. Tell him I won't let anything happen to him. Tell him I have statements from 2 people already, and they're being protected. I'll protect your husband. You got all that?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Good night, Mrs. Hobb. I left her standing in the middle of the living room, drink in hand, staring vacantly at I don't know what. Outside in the crisp mountain air, I took stock of the situation. Richard Hobb, building inspector, who had passed the school building, would be the most important witness I could find to make a statement. The others, from Florrie Hawkins and David Baines, would help. But Hobbs' information would be essential to an investigation. I was just clinging to my rented car when a sleek, dark limousine pulled up, and Roy Vickery leaned out the window.
Come here.
Why not?
Pretty cold weather to be out so late at night.
Yeah, but then I've got a lot to do.
You've been in to see Mr. Hobb?
Yeah.
How's Richard these days?
I wouldn't know. I only spoke to Mrs. Hobb.
I see. Lovely girl, isn't she?
Well, she's a little sad right now. Her husband's missing. He left town during the fire yesterday.
Do tell.
Yeah, I have a feeling he might have been ordered out of town. Sooner or later, people will be asking the building inspector embarrassing questions about their school.
Uh-huh. Were you going to ask him some embarrassing questions, that is?
Yeah, sure I was. I was going to ask him why he passed it. I was going to ask him how much he was paid to pass it. I was going to ask who paid him to pass it. And then I was going to ask him to make a statement.
I figured you might have had something like that in mind.
Well, it's been nice talking to you, Mr. Vickery. I hope I see you real soon. In jail.
Hey, Dollar.
What?
I know you're trying to earn your money and you're working very hard. But I'd stop it if I were you. I admire a man like you, someone who calls a
A spade, a spade.
Or a liar, a liar.
Or a liar, a liar. But, Dollar, it just won't do you any good here in Clinton.
Tell you what, you worry about your problems and I'll worry about mine.
Have it your way.
Ready with your call to New York, Mr. Dollar?
Right.
Go ahead, please.
Hi, Johnny.
Hello, Al. Hey, look, Al, it's a mess here. I've made a little headway. I mean, I'll have a couple of statements coming in, but no concrete evidence yet.
Well, what do you think?
The school building was a fix or something or other. Money somewhere. I haven't been able to find out. The town's sewed up tight, civically and politically. I can't expect any help from the law or the fire department here. They're in it, too.
Oh, that kind of thing, huh?
Afraid so. I need help.
We'll be there in 24 hours. If they want to play it that way, we'll play it that way.
20 minutes after I hung up the phone and was in bed, I found out how much of a mess it really was. That's when my hotel door opened and a man lurched across the room toward me.
Dollar, I've got to tell you, I wanted to get to you yesterday.
He stood in front of me, swaying back and forth, his hands clutching the front of his coat. He fell before I could get to him. 3 bullet holes formed a neat trio across where his tie pin should have been. I ran my fingers through his coat, pulled out his wallet. The license read, Richard Hobb, age 39, occupation, building inspector.
Now, here's our star to tell you about tomorrow's intriguing episode of this week's story.
Tomorrow, the town of Clinton begins to fall apart, and it takes a lot of work to pick up the pieces. Join us, won't you? Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, starring Bob Bailey, is transcribed in Hollywood. Written by John Dawson, it is produced and directed by Jack Johnstone. Be sure to join us tomorrow night, same time and station, for the next exciting episode of Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Roy Rowan speaking.
Sounds like this case is going to get more and more dangerous before it's over with. From March 14th, 1956, yours truly, Johnny Dollar, here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Thank you so much for making us a part of your day. We would ask that you visit my webpage, please, classicradio.stream. At that webpage, you can stream our shows on demand, learn more about classic radio collecting, and contact me, classicradio.stream. I also ask you if you could take a moment to drop a card or a letter to this radio station and support their advertisers. It is their kindness and courtesy that allows us to be with you each and every time we're here on your favorite station. The station puts us on the air, and the advertisers pay the bills. It's as simple as that. And do me another favor, would you please? If you like our shows, you don't have to miss a single one of them. You can hear all of our shows at iHeartRadio, Spotify, Spreaker, TuneIn, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcast, or Amazon, all on demand, just by searching for Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. That's Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Have yourself a great day. Tell all your friends the great radio shows are right here at this spot on the dial. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite radio station.